Good evening. Welcome to Cryptid Crunch. This is the season of the Gemini. She is accommodating. A Gemini woman is adaptable and adjustable. She is receptive and willing to change according to whatever things around her. Ooh, and we got a storm brewing up here. Today on Cryptid Crunch, I am going to let Heather run with the show. All right, so I was meaning to bring this up. All right, okay, that's enough out of that. Okay, let's bring up my co-host, Keisha. What you been up to, girl? Oh, wait, sorry. Something's going wonky with my computer. Let's try this one more time. Keisha, what's happening?
Hi. I don't know. Dolores is like hanging out, talking to weird ghosts and stuff. So, but look, I can lift my leg like in the air. Isn't that great? Where's Heather?
She was here just a moment ago. Here,
bring her up. Heather!
Hi guys. It's storming really bad here right now. So, like, if you guys hear some thunder and lightning, that is what's going on behind me. So,
do I sound like that? God. Well, if you couldn't figure out, apparently Willow mixed us up because apparently Keisha and I really look alike in glasses and black shirts and red lipstick. So we're going to be each other tonight. Are you okay
welcome.
With that? Also, Heather? Hey, well, at least you said it wasn't spooky as two Keishas, but two Heathers would be a handful.
Yes.
And guys, I'm not paying for those special effects. That's actually a giant storm outside. Do I sound like that? Damn, girl. Anyways, guys, tonight we're gonna have some fun. Willow just like threw me under the bus. Let me take control of the show. Damn.
I figured because okay, so we're talking about twins and other creepy stuff. You know more about the astrology side than I do about Gemini, so I figured I'd let you.
Yeah, my mom's a Gemini, and let's talk about split personalities.
I'm a Gemini.
So, as I was saying, let's talk about split personalities or multiple personalities. So, go ahead, Keisha. Tell us about the Gemini.
I don't know. I've been one since I was born. So, almost 31 years.
Oh my God, you're so old.
I know. My birthday's in a month. A month from today, actually. June 15th.
Happy month to your birthday. Woo!
Month of birthday.
Birthday to you. Okay.
I'm cool with you singing happy birthday to me.
Nope.
Half the time I forget when my birthday exists, so if you guys could remind me in a month.
My birthday is in less than 7 months.
I think Facebook will do that for us. Where it's like, happy birthday too.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing. I hate Facebook birthdays because they're so disingenuous. If I know the person, I'm going to say happy birthday to them. I'll text them. I'll send them a thing on Facebook. I don't like posting stuff on Facebook. And apparently Facebook forgot about my birthday last year because like 2 people said happy birthday. And then when I was sharing birthday stuff, people were like losing their minds.
When was your birthday? No. So I get a ridiculous, ow, I love my child.
You should tell everybody what she was doing in the bath earlier today.
Oh, yes. So I was giving her a bath before the show. And I walked in, turned around the corner, and here she is holding a doll head, squeezing it in her fingers and watching white stuff ooze out of it. And I was like, "Hey, honey, what you doing there?" And she's like, "Well, I just wanted to play with the head, mommy."
Because she removed it from the body.
She tore the head off of her doll and was just playing with the head. And when I asked her why, she said she just wanted to play with the head.
I think for Halloween, you should probably dress her up like Sid from Toy Story.
Yes.
I love rain, but like I live on a lake and that was loud. I'm on the 4th floor. Sorry. Mwahahaha. Okay.
You live on the 4th floor? They have those where you live?
We do. I have an elevator in my building now. It's the first time I've ever had an elevator for my apartment.
Nice.
I don't live on a farm with turkeys. Huh? What, Willow?
How many floors does your apartment have?
4. I'm on the top.
That's it? Okay.
My house has
I am
2.
on the top. But your house also has lots of ghosts.
It comes with the property. I can't just kick them out.
So apparently when Keisha's doing these cute pigtails that we came up with earlier, she's like, nothing was behind me and no one was near me. And like, all of a sudden I felt a little tug.
Yeah, all of a sudden I just felt a tug. Like somebody had taken this one and just like pulled it behind me. And I was like, not moving at the time. So I was like, cool. That's nice.
But like I said, if they're going to pull your hair, they might as well buy you dinner too.
I said some other inappropriate things, so we're not going to repeat those on the show.
And that's how Dolores is born.
All right.
I was so sad I couldn't join you guys for the last episode. I have just been like, do you hear this? I have been in like Hell Week for like months, and like truly this week is going to be insane. So I've got MegaCon coming up. I have 2 full cosplays to build. Huge. I have my Fringe show that we're doing our tech preview, our press preview, our A-frame marketing, our opening night, and our opening shows. Then I have a very good friend who I have not seen since high school, who I've known since elementary school, coming to visit for a couple of days during MegaCon. So my brain has kind of exploded, but I'm so happy we could be here tonight. So excited. And Ryan wants to know, do Geminis and Libras work well together? Inquiring minds want to know.
Are you a Libra?
Yeah, I don't know if Ryan's a Libra. Ryan, are you a Libra?
He is.
I can tell you that Geminis and Sagittarians work really well together. Otherwise,
are you a Sagittarian?
I am.
Oh, sweet. Willow, what are you?
I'm a Libra. I've looked this up actually. All right. So, not in a relationship with Keisha.
Well, Willow, I'm taken.
Wow.
So thank you for popping that up.
That's the direction our show's going to go, ladies and gentlemen. Have a great time.
Welcome to Sunday night, guys.
Yeah. It couldn't have been perfect. More perfect, because we've got our show. There's a giant storm outside. And did anybody realize we're having a lunar eclipse? It's a super moon. It's a blood moon. It's like everything moon. It's going to be, I know here Eastern time, it's supposed to start at like 11:15 and go until like 2:00 in the morning.
Y'all, I am hoping for like all the storms here. They have been promising these storms for the last 2 days, and I've gotten like a small sprinkle, and I'm like, this is just not fair.
I have never sat in my kitchen/living room area during a storm, and I have a 2-story living room, and the entire living room just lit up. I will happily send you some storms.
No, thank you. We're getting our own.
Yes, please. I will gladly take all the storms, you guys.
Hey, look, for Florida, usually we're pretty rainy, and we have not had this kind of storm in a long time. And again, being on the 4th floor on the lake, little scary. But let's talk about other stuff that's scary. Gemini is cool. Season of the Gemini, when we were throwing around ideas, I was like, twins are creepy as hell. I've known multiple pairs of twins. Why not make a whole show about it? Because there's so many different things.
Twins run in my family.
Oh, well, that too. They don't run in my family, but I've had multiple.
My brother ate twin in the womb.
Does he ever hear like weird voices and stuff?
No, but he has extra nipples.
Keisha's brother, if you're watching, I'm so sorry. It's not actually me talking about your extra nipples. It's actually your.
That's okay. Actually, when we were in school, he used to be like, "Look, guys, I've got an extra set." If you guys were
How
curious,
old is he?
He's a couple years younger than me.
Poor baby.
He's like 27, I think. 28.
So you can like milk him like a cow. Anyways, moving on. So
I don't
Carl
think
just said the haunted stick is lighting up, and if we start to hear that heart, I do have Mary sitting next to me. So if we start to hear her, you know, it's gonna be a good show.
Not thunder we hear.
It's not thunder, it's the heart.
And if you guys hear some excessive tweeting, I have 2 turkeys and 4 guineas behind me, because why doesn't everybody have turkeys and guineas in their house?
Oh, you have a turkeys inside of your house?
Yes. Well, I couldn't put them outside with the roosters and the chickens and the ducks and the bunnies, so they're inside.
I just got really hungry all of a sudden. But yeah,
one
let's
is
talk
named
about
Ani.
creepy stuff besides eating everything on Keisha's farm.
Yes.
So creepy stuff about twins. We've been doing a lot of research. It's in film, it's in TV. You've got the Gemini coven from Vampire Diaries based off an actual coven of witches. You have doppelgangers, which I've always been fascinated with. I think it's so cool. And you have like
I would love to meet my doppelganger.
No, you don't. Never. If you meet, it's literally like impending doom.
I'm okay with that. I just want to meet her. Or him.
But,
whatever I am in the other.
Think about it this way, though. You know, How I Met Your Mother, they spent 2 full seasons looking for the entire main cast doppelgangers, right?
Yeah.
I was a full Vampire Diaries fan. Elena had multiple doppelgangers. Stefan had multiple doppelgangers. But it was insane. And they were like switching bodies and doing all sorts of weird stuff. But they're so fascinating. And then you've got regular twins, fraternal twins, mirror twins. Do you guys know what a mirror twin is?
Vaguely, yes. It's where they have the exact same facial or traits, but it's like backwards.
Reverse, yeah. Because they're actually facing each other in utero. So like if one twin has a mole on their eye on their right eye, then the twin that's the mirror twin actually has it on their left eye. One's right-handed, one's left-handed. You've got conjoined twins who have been said to be able, if they're conjoined at the head, they can hear each other's thoughts. They can taste each other's food. They can feel each other's moods. And so let's say like you're really happy and you just like shoved a bunch of pizza in your mouth and you're a conjoined twin. The other twin's going to taste pizza and be really happy. But I watched a documentary years ago where there were conjoined twins and they were married to 2 separate boys. They lived like that and had kids. I will let you guys decide how that happens.
Yep.
So,
go ahead.
No, that is an after show thing. Nope. We'll talk about that after the show when it's not.
So again, each twin feels what the other twin's feeling. Can you imagine that? But then there's also regular twins that create their own language. And it's babble when they're kids and they understand it. And it's almost always the same. Or there's been stories of people that, you know, we have somebody in our Back Mr. Real Box group who knew someone who was a twin, never knew that they were a twin until several years down the road, but felt that part of them was actually missing. And then it made sense that, you know, the other twin died. And it's just this feeling of missing part of you and not being able to explain anything.
And that's the same kind of story as Elvis Presley, who was actually supposed to be a twin, but his brother died in utero as well.
Right. Can you imagine two versions of Elvis Presley?
Hey, there's conspiracy theories that state that.
Oh.
Where his twin brother actually survived, and the one that died was his twin.
It's so crazy. Keisha, you're so quiet. I mean, Heather, you're so quiet. It's so unlike you.
I'm just trying to be reserved tonight.
That's a first. That's a first. Yeah.
So, okay. Have you guys ever felt like there was a piece of you missing, or talking to something that wasn't there, like possibly a ghost twin? Or
I've never felt like that. I mean, I'm missing my brain sometimes, but
Keisha, no negative self-talk.
No, but sometimes it just, I mean, with the kid and the animals and the ghosts, it's just so hard.
It's overwhelming, I know.
It gets to me so many times. Oh, Dr. Carl Witzman, psychologists like to study twins, especially those raised apart. You bring up a very good point, Carl.
I actually, there was a documentary about that exact thing. Brain. CNN did a documentary on that, and now I need to go find what the name of it was.
Yeah, and to kind of add while you look for the documentary, there have been several studies, twins separated at birth, raised completely separate different lives in separate places. They wound up having the same kind of schooling, the same kind of career. They've married the same names of women. So if somebody marries a Jenny Smith, the other one's going to marry a Jenny Smith. They named their pets the same thing. It's crazy. Is it coincidence or is it not coincidence? There's too many good observations to be able to figure out.
That whole nature versus nurture thing. Like, were you born with all of this stuff already wired in your head? Or is it just how you were brought up? And when you look at twins that have been separated, you can be like, maybe it's more biological than you think.
Right. They're getting the same kind of jobs, or they're making the same kind of money. They have the same kind of hobbies, and they've never met. And then there's the internet. What do they call them? The twin strangers. Have you guys heard of this? There's multiple websites. I think that you should do it. I will do it. There's multiple websites. You can actually submit your photo and they will find a doppelganger or your twin stranger, which is a newer term, which I think is so silly. But doppelganger is a newer term from like the late 1700s. But these twin strangers, there are so many TikToks and Facebook posts and Instagram posts where people are posting. They're like, oh my God, I totally thought you were my friend Joe. And then Joe comments and they're like, oh my God. And they're not related biologically. There's no connection. Some of them are in different countries, and all of a sudden they come together and you're like, holy crap, this person looks just like me. Is
it free? It's free. Sorry. I'm definitely not looking it up right now because I want to find my doppelganger.
It's free. It's 100% free. So I encourage anybody to do it. There's multiple websites. No, Russia will not hack you, at least for the websites I know. But
I'm getting hacked. I know I am right now.
Well, if you if you ask for that, then sure, yeah. But let's ask our viewers. And I think that Willow was on a good point there. Has anybody ever experienced anything like that? Do you guys know twins? Carl said he's seen his doppelganger, tried to chase him down, but he got away. Carl, can you elaborate more into that? Was it in a dream? Were you awake? Tell us. Dan, how did you determine you have the best life? And would you consider those doppelgangers, or would you consider those past lives? Or would we like to bring it into today's pop culture and say, is the multiverse? Because Marvel's touching on all of that. Actually, the way she put it, if I didn't know better, it's where you belong to your dad. Not a twin, but adopted. My mom said I was a good example of nurture versus nature, and I would be the nurture side. Right on, Donna. That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I think it's really interesting because we don't know. It's so possible. You know, I have a good friend, Nick. Willow knows Nick, and he's in Italy. But I swear I know somebody that looks just like him here in Florida, but you would never know because you're not in every place at the same time. Is it ourselves? And are we astrally projecting ourselves to be somewhere and live a separate life? Is it a doppelganger? Is it another dimension? Is it just coincidence that we have the same features?
Can we have all of the above?
Everybody in the world.
I would gladly take all of the above.
Yeah, but think about it. Like, I would never have known that Willow and Keisha exist if it wasn't for technology.
The internet.
Hello. But you exist. But I guarantee that there's somebody in the world that looks similar to you, either raised in genetics, some kind of distant relative, or is it that, you know, the baby making machine just has so many different versions and then it just keeps going and going.
Let's go with that.
That's kind of where it's at. You know,
I ran out of people to make, so here's the same ones.
It's kind of like that. You know, there's no such thing as a random number generator. They say there is, but there's only so many things. So, for example, I'll be a very Disney girl for a second. At Hollywood Studios, which is the old MGM, we have the Hollywood Tower of Terror ride. It's an elevator drop ride. Most people are very familiar with it. And they say that there's completely random drops. So you never know how high you're going to go, how much you're going to drop, how many times it's going to bounce up and down. But it's not random. There's no such thing as random. There's a computer that's constantly running everything. Are we in a computer? Is it the Matrix? That'd be cool. Where's Neo?
I hope so. Let's do this.
If Willow and Keisha didn't exist, the universe would demand that they be. Well, shit. What about me, Dan?
Yeah. What about me?
Sorry, but like, shoot. What about me, Dan? Because
Keisha, you're fine.
No, other Keisha. Yeah, it's great. We're gonna. But
so, do you have twins in your family, you guys?
I don't. Oh, actually, I take that back.
Several sets.
I have fraternal twins in my cousin's side. Yes. But they are completely opposite. And I love them to death. Growing up when they were younger, they very much look the same. Now, you would never even guess they're related. And I think thanks, Dan. I hope that's a good thing that I definitely exist. Now they're getting confused. Yes, we're not having a prank, Carl. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. We're fine.
We're having identity crisis, okay?
I mean, sometimes I just want to live in a farm in the middle of Illinois, and Keisha would like to not have any children because she loves them so much and be living in Disney.
I do love them so much.
So much. I love them. I just want to squeeze them so. Okay. But no, it really comes down to what is it? We don't really know how the world's created. There's so many different things. No, we're not bringing religion into this, but there are so many different stories of so many different things. You know what? We're here. Are we going to find people? Yeah. Willow, do you have twins in your family?
There are twins in my family. I'm sure that if either my sisters, if either me or my sister Sabrina has kids, I'm sure that there would be a chance that we'd have twins. Mm-hmm. But no, I don't want to. I don't want to take that chance.
I mean, it's fascinating. And Keisha, you said you have a lot.
Yes, several. So it runs in both sides of my family.
Okay.
So I actually had a set of aunts that passed away. They were stillborn, but they were twins. And then my one of my cousins was supposed to be a twin, but her twin actually died in the womb. My little brother was supposed to be a twin, but he actually absorbed his twin. There's
Did
this
he know
weird...
it? Oh, you're talking about the one with the extra nipples, that one?
Yes. There's this weird like condition you can absorb your twin in the uterus.
In utero?
Yeah. And
that is creepy.
That actually happened to him. And then he actually went on to have a set of twins.
Okay.
So my my nephews, Gage and Dustin, are twins, and they're adorable. They just had a birthday party not too
Nice.
So
yeah,
okay,
a couple months ago, but still.
Yeah.
That gives me a good idea for a question. Okay, so Joe's sister should have been a twin as well.
Willow's husband, yes.
Sorry. But anyway, I've been thinking about this a lot. Because there is that possibility of having the two personalities in the same body after being absorbed. Do you think that's where multiple personalities disorder comes from?
I think it's possible.
Oh, I have lots of twins.
I mean, maybe you're supposed to be triplets or sextuplets.
I was looking up. I was looking up the syndrome, and my brother had it, and it's called the vanishing twin syndrome.
Yeah. Did you know that twins can be fathered by different men?
Yes,
each twin can have a different father.
That is creepy.
Isn't that awesome? I'm going to figure out the exact word. I can't remember it. Twins born by different fathers.
I thought that was only an animal thing.
It is called, yes, it's a real thing. It is called heteropaternal superfecundation, literally. In rare cases, fraternal twins can be born from two different fathers. Although uncommon, rare cases have been documented where a woman is pregnant by two different men at the same time. So somebody is getting a little frisky, and yeah, it's very, very possible that they can have two different fathers. And I have seen it. I used to not watch Maury Povich, but my stepsister did. And he used to do all the like, you're the father, you're not the father. And there were twins on there. Let's see. Dan said, my father was a twin, but his brother was stillborn, buried in a shoebox in World War I Army base in Florida. He's standing right behind me now. Okay. But, you know, it kind of blows my mind, but there's so much stuff that we haven't actually dug into in science. And I've always found twins fascinating ever since I was in 5th grade. And I had friends that were twins. And I think I brought them up on our show before. They were born 2 different days, 2 different months, and 2 different years. December 31st, 11:58 p.m. January 1st, 12:01 a.m. And it was fascinating. And I just kind of was like, ooh, if I ever get married, if I ever have kids, I want twins. I had to find somebody who's a twin to pass on the twin gene. But they're actually saying that the percentage of twins in the world is actually higher than it's ever been. And yeah, yes. So they're actually saying that twins are going to become the normal, and us singles. I'm trying to find the article I sent to you guys because it's super fascinating.
You know, I always wanted twins because I always said that I wanted like 12 kids. And if I have twins,
yeah, we're definitely not the same person.
It just gets me to that goal faster.
Willow wants 12 cats. She's pretty close to that goal.
I'm more than happy to have multiple cats.
I will send you mine.
Well, did you know too that twins actually start to play with each other in the womb 14 weeks in to being in the birthing womb? They'll like start like just like touching each other and like protecting each other, and they'll actually be careful to not like mess with each other.
If I was a twin, I would purposefully like in the womb just be kicking my twin. I'm awful.
And you would become the vanished twin.
Yeah. That sounds
Carl,
accurate.
I'm not actually sure. You know, you would think that it would be because he said, is it due to in vitro fertilization? So they actually say since 1980, the rate of twin births in the U.S. has spiked 76%. They're actually saying it's partially attributed to the fact that women are waiting longer to become mothers, since there's a strong correlation with the mother's age and her likelihood of having twins. But if trends continue, the day will actually come when single babies are the exception. Twins are also twice as likely to be born left-handed than the overall population. 22% of twins are left-handed as compared to 10% of the overall population. And, they always said, like, my grandmother was born left-handed, and they always said, like, that's the devil. So there's so much connotation of, like, evil, bad things about twins. And sometimes, yes, twins can be awful. I have really great friends right now that are not awful. Duff and Josh Mathis. I wanted to have them on the show because they're great. They do cosplay with me. They I don't know if you guys had seen any of our photos from the sideshow over on HWWS, but they actually did like the like bad Doctor Strange and good Doctor Strange from Multiverse of Madness, and it's great. Here, I will pull up. Who wants to see a photo? I will pull up a cool photo we took because twins are the best to take photos of. Here we go. Let's see.
Okay. Cool.
They are 100% identical until you start talking to them. Totally different people. Totally different people. And it's amazing.
My nephews that are twins, completely different. One is very reserved, quiet, and the other one's like, hi.
Yeah.
So,
do you know how to tell a twin apart?
How?
Is that a no? I'm getting like head tilts.
Like, I can tell my nephews apart.
So easily. Do you know what makes everybody stand out from everybody else in the world? What? So it's our belly buttons.
Oh, I don't look at my nephew's belly buttons very often.
Right. But that is, so the doctor actually determines how your belly button is. So if you have an innie or an outie, it's the doctor's fault, whether you like it or not. But it's actually when the doctor cuts it, and the doctor doesn't cut it the same exact way. There's literally no way to have the same exact muscle strength the same way. So, I mean, you can start asking twins to lift their shirts. I don't know if they'll do that. Maybe in Keisha's case, possible because her brother's flashing everybody. But,
Hey, can I see your belly button?
There are slight differences when it comes to twins, though, if you look closely.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Well, I always kind of wished I was a twin. I wish there was like a reason to explain it. Because they have their own freaking like conventions and stuff. And there are twins.
There's a convention for everything these days, though. Like redheads, twins, lefties. But, like,
I don't know. Twins want to marry other twins. Like, can you? Let's just like rip the Band-Aid off. Can you imagine being a twin, dating a twin, and hoping that you're not walking into the wrong room at the wrong time?
That's happened before to lots of people. They even put it in movies.
Multiple times. Well, and something totally not having to do with twins, but having to do with doppelgangers, which doesn't come up in a lot of doppelganger research because not a lot of people think about it. Bridesmaids. If you've ever been married or you know about a wedding, why are there bridesmaids? You guys are both married. Why'd you have a bridesmaid?
Because that way, if I got killed, or they're like my stand-in so that I don't get killed or something. I don't remember. I did a bunch of research on something, and basically, they're your backups. I don't know.
Willow, want to take a guess?
No freaking clue.
So bridesmaids were originally meant to look as close to the bride as possible. One, because they would be kidnapped. Because either suitors who thought they were better, suitors who thought they were better than the potential suitor, or families would actually kidnap the bridesmaids. So they started creating them. They all dressed them in the same dresses. And that's why you have to have a witness, is to make sure it's actually the bride and not a doppelganger or bridesmaid, because those people would then also try to take over the bride. So you have to make sure it's somebody you trust. Not crazy, because they would travel from village to village and town to town.
Interesting.
It's insane.
I don't know if y'all saw it on TV. It was way back before internet was super popular. But there was a TV episode, or there was a TV segment about two twins that wanted to do like everything the exact same. They would style their hair together. They would wear the exact same outfits. They would not go on a date unless the other one was on the exact same date with the twin. And they wouldn't get married without each other, and they wouldn't sleep in opposite rooms. Like, I'm sorry, I don't like nobody enough to do that.
Yeah, no. But a twin is a special bond, unlike us singletons, which is the word that they use for people that are not of twin descent.
Darn muggles.
Darn muggles. And everyone's like, but that's like a simpleton. Well, yeah. I mean, there's two of them. But, well, I know we've all been doing some research. What did you guys find? So for you guys to, just so you viewers know and listeners, we always put research into our shows. We just don't sit here and like talk. We literally
sometimes I do, guys.
Okay. So sometimes Heather does. That's real.
I don't like to lie. So I'm just throwing it out there.
Okay. Well,
I did research.
Sometimes we do research. I know Willow's been excited on this topic. What was like the biggest takeaways that you found from your research that you did?
How screwed up the world of psychology can be. That they have taken actual twins, separated them after birth, and put them in families. Went to these families throughout these twins' lives without telling them that their other twin exists. Watch them play, watch them interact with the other children. Or like their adopted siblings, just watch them grow, and then but hide this research from them for so many years. There's three guys that had found each other due to being in college and talking about it with the media, where they had found each other just by happenstance. And sadly, one of them shot themselves later on because they couldn't deal with the stress and the pressure of not knowing
through, like, weird stuff, or they were just having their lives observed.
Yeah, and but yeah, it's I can't imagine the torment that a lot of these that these psychologists have put these twins and triplets through.
Oh yeah, well, years. And that brings up a good point too, and it's something I just kind of thought about because it's a little bit of a sensitive topic. I, for the last 20 or so years, had known Nick and Brian Wolf, who are special effects makeup artists, and a couple of years ago, Brian passed away from stomach cancer, and I mean they were straight up identical. Nick lost himself for quite some time because he said he couldn't even look in a mirror. Because every time he looked in the mirror, he saw his brother looking back at him. And it just kind of gives you the chills because you're going, I can't imagine, A, the loss of a sibling, B, the loss of a twin, C, you're going to look at that person the rest of your life every time you look at yourself. And, then you get into the mirror world and all sorts of weird stuff. He literally moved to the UK and like grew out a grizzly beard just so he could distort his face a little bit. And I love him for it, but I can't imagine that kind of loss. And it just kind of blows my mind. But yeah, the torment, and it just kind of drives me crazy. Absolutely. What about you, Willow? After that, what about you? Would you be tormented?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think for me and I have two older siblings. And we grew up all in separate homes. Well, okay. So me and my sister Sabrina, we lived with each other for a good portion of our childhood, up until our last foster home, where she wanted to go back to the other one. And I decided to stay because I'm just like, I was done with moving and stuff. So,
sure.
But, not having that close relationship with my sisters, that tormented me enough. I couldn't imagine having that same situation with a twin.
Yeah. And you've had a rough go at it with your sister. You have. And, you know, I'm an only child, but I have 2 sets of step siblings. My dad's side, I have 2 stepsisters. My mom's side, I have 2 stepbrothers. I'm the middle child and the only child. I don't have a relationship with any of them. And I wanted to. For the longest time, I had a good relationship with my stepbrothers. But now, due to family things, my stepdad's like on his deathbed. They want nothing to do with him. And that drives me crazy. And I've been called all sorts of names. And like one lives an hour away, one lives up north, and they just want nothing to do with it. And I'm like, family means family. Get over your Anyways, but I've always wanted a sibling. I guess like I was saying, I always wanted a twin because then you actually have somebody there. But I can't imagine being in a situation like you've had, having family and then just, but you know what? You're stronger and better for it because screw it. You're the cooler sibling anyways.
So guys, all the research that I did, I'm gonna backpedal here because
backpedal, baby.
Okay, we explained that we're doing our thing on Gemini, but we didn't really explain what that has to do with twins. So I have it pulled up. Okay, so Gemini is actually Latin for the word twins. And it's from about May 21st to June 21st is what is considered a Gemini.
Beautiful.
I like that picture, by the way.
I love that.
But
also, thank you, Willow, for making me the purple-haired twin in our advertisement on Instagram.
But it's actually based off of I tried to like say these names earlier to myself.
Spelling so and it doesn't count, doesn't matter, you're fine.
So Castor and Pollux, Pollux, Pollux.
Okay.
But that is who Gemini is based off of.
Mm-hmm.
But when I was reading through it, it sounded like they're not actual twins.
They're not.
And I was like, why is it based off of not actual twins, but it's a whole yin and yang thing?
Yeah, they balance each other out. That's why they get along so well with Libras, because of the scales.
Ah, see? Okay, because I was trying to figure that out. I was like, wait, why are they twins if they're not twins? I was very confused in my Keisha brain. I mean, my Heather brain.
Rude. Heather would never be confused about that.
Just saying. But yes, so they also like each zodiac has a different signs and different things that they're associated with. So I was looking up like the element for Gemini is actually air. So airhead, no, I'm kidding, maybe kind of.
I was gonna say what your head's filled with. God, Heather,
Yes.
Such negative talk going on today.
It says the zodiac quality is mutable. Obviously, they have not met me. I don't know what mutable is, but
Is that hi, Willow? Willow's sneezing on mute. Wait,
mutable.
did you say it's beautiful? Geminis are beautiful?
No, quality is mutable. MUTABLE.
Mutable. I thought you said beautiful. Okay.
Yes, and I actually don't know what that means, so I figured it was like muting them. I was like, they obviously don't know me.
They're able to take themselves out of a situation and be a bystander.
Oh, I guess that makes sense. I'm like sweet. What is it? Sweden?
You're sweet? Is that what you said?
No. What's that one country that doesn't get involved in anything?
Switzerland?
Switzerland. I'm Switzerland. That's what I am. Sweden. I'm Sweden. Guys, I got hardly any sleep last night.
Oh, there you go, Dan. Changeable. I've never heard that part. I just kind of assumed it made you a little bit more calm. Thank you, Dan, for correcting me once again.
Oh. And the sign ruler is actually Mercury. Detriment is Jupiter.
Which is in retrograde right now. That's why you're a little bit crazy. Oh, no, just kidding.
No, that's all the time.
Hi.
Same.
There's always a planet in retrograde.
Well, Mercury retrograde's like big no-nos.
Yeah, but that's kind of what I was looking up, the more like not fun aspects of it. I should have been looking up twins, y'all.
So, Dolores.
Hi.
Hi.
Everybody say hi. Can I boop her? I'm gonna boop you. Okay, turn your face so I can boop you.
Nope.
Okay, I got booped too.
She said, I'm going to boop your guys' face too.
That's
She booped
fine.
both of you.
Thank you. Here's fun. Mutable signs often get along well with one another. The twins do note that because the signs are all either square or opposite from each other on the zodiac wheel, which can be a challenging angle, these signs can get into power struggles if they don't play to their own strengths and stay on their own turf. So you're flexible, adaptable, and thrive on change. That makes a lot of sense. Well, with my research, like I've been dying to talk about this because you guys know I'm a classic Monsters fan, and of course I had to find like the connection. So I did a lot of research on doppelgangers again because it's been such a thing that I've been kind of obsessed with, and I was looking through like examples of what they consider an alleged doppelganger, and there's like lots of people like from Europe. And then this name pops out to me when I was doing this research. I remember hearing about it a long time ago. But Percy Shelley, Mary Shelley's husband, she wrote Frankenstein. He wrote tons of things too. He was actually an English poet. So I will read the specifics because I don't want to mess up any of the places because one day I will be there in Italy. So he drowned in the Bay of Spezia near, Nick would butcher me if I butchered these names, Lerici in Italy. So on August 15th, he was staying at Pisa. Mary was with him, and she wrote a letter to Maria Gisborne in which she relayed Percy's claims to her that he had met his own doppelganger. So he died July 8th, and on August 15th, she writes this letter to Maria. And a week after she had a nearly fatal miscarriage is when he saw this doppelganger. So she almost had a fatal miscarriage. She had a fatal miscarriage. And then all sorts of crazy stuff happened. So in the early hours of June 23rd, so June is when he saw his doppelganger. July is when he drowned. And August is when she sent the letter. He had a nightmare about a house collapsing in a flood. So nearly less than a month before he dreamt about a flood. Oh yeah, it's like all sorts of crazy. There's a whole writing about it. But Percy wrote a drama, Prometheus Unbound, which contains the following passage. Ere Babylon was dust, the Magus Zoroaster, my dead child, now this is 2 years prior to when everything happened, met his own image walking in the garden. That apparition, soul of men he saw. For know there are two worlds of life and death, one that which thou beholdest, but the other is underneath the grave, where do inhabit the shadows of all forms that think and live till death unite them and they part no more. Now, if we go through that, here's where it gets really interesting. So let me pull this up again because I don't want to mess this up specifically. Okay, so there's a full story about the neighbor, and you always consider the doppelganger to be the evil twin, but who's to say who's the doppelganger and who's the original? Let me pull this up. Come on. It's really kind of fascinating. So this has been found in americasbestpics.com. I don't know why this was the thing. Oh, hold on. So he had seen his doppelganger numerous times, and he was walking past a house of a neighbor. Let me pull it through. So Shelley had often seen these figures when ill, but the strangest thing is that Mrs. Williams now saw him. Mrs. Williams being the neighbor. Now, though a woman of sensibility has not much imagination, is not in the slightest degree nervous, neither in dreams or otherwise. She was standing one day, the day before Mary had taken ill, June 15th, at a window that looked at the terrace, and she saw, as she thought, Percy Shelley pass by the window, as he often did, without a coat or jacket, and then he passed by again, the same exact direction, the same time. So he's coming from the same direction. She sees him pass twice. And from the side, the only way to get out past is to either pass the window again or go up over a 20-foot wall, which I think is kind of insane. So she said, good God, could he have leapt from the wall? Where could he be gone? And this was, he had already passed by the window, and that was the fourth time that he had seen his doppelganger. He was chasing them down. So I thought that was kind of fascinating because it's very much actively in media, in fiction, in nonfiction. You've got the Gemini coven, like what I was saying with Vampire Diaries, but it was actually based off of a photo. Let me see if I can pull that up, which kind of blew me away. And it's super creepy looking too. Kind of touching on what Willow was talking about, these weird experiments. So it took place in the Pacific Northwest. A Gemini coven is sets of twins. So in fiction, for example, like Vampire Diaries, they were a coven of witches that were only twins. And on their 21st birthday, one would actually absorb the other and absorb their powers. Then they would become the leader of the Gemini coven. So this person, this is a real thing off of aminoapps.com, talking about paganism. So this person's neighbor is 95 and shared with them photos from the early 1900s and the late 1800s, similar to the timing that doppelgangers were really being seen. And it's a photo printed on tin. They shared a brief history of the house that this person was renting. There's several kids who look similar. They're all Caucasian, same age and height. There's absolutely no information on it whatsoever, but this is actually the photo. I don't know if we can pull that up. It's printed tin. And that's a photo that was taken in front of the house that the person was in. So very much the asylum look. They're very much all looking the same. So was somebody trying to create a military move? There's numerous things. So they consider this the Hotel Oregon is the Gemini twins. So it's the building is the backside of the Hotel Oregon, a structure that had been built on its own imposing hilltop. It's Art Deco. It's a place that you could actually go visit, and it would unexpectedly draw an unexpected crowd of local children to the storm-threatened hillside. So it's creepy.
All right.
These are real life things that this is based off of. And
interesting.
Not the real reason that Mary Shelley. Oh, Dan. Oh, we could have a good conversation about that. There's numerous stories as to the writing of Frankenstein and all of the classics. They were done during a 3 a.m. orgy. They were done during being on opiates in an opium den.
I gotta do some more research about this.
Yes, you do. There was a lot of talk about, this group of writers that would get together and then just write, but they would actually allow themselves to just do a writing of thought, or like a stream of consciousness where you literally put pen to paper. And I don't know, y'all, this is something that you might want to try at home because it can get really creepy. And Keisha, I would definitely suggest with your house the way it is to do it. And Willow, I don't know if you've done it, but you take a piece of paper and a pen or a notebook and you time yourself 15 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever. And you literally just sit and you just start writing anything that comes to thought, anything that's happening whatsoever. And sometimes you will come and you'll stop and be like, oh my God, how did this, Keisha's ready to do it now. How did I just write all of this? What is this stuff? And sometimes you're writing it. No, there you go.
So I actually do that.
Yes. Isn't that a normal writing exercise that writers do though?
Yeah, I do that all the time, and some weird stuff comes out, man.
Yes, because I guarantee you're narrating. Keisha be crazy. Hashtag Keisha be crazy. We
Because
do have a Yeti hole, but where's our other one? What was the one that we came up with a couple of months ago?
Mood Rings of Death.
Oh yes, the Mood Rings of Death. Thank you. But yeah, it's really, and yes, it's a writing task or a way to get more creative. But Keisha, have you had some like super creepy stuff come out that's not from your brain?
Y'all, I need to read you guys some of the stories I've been writing.
You've got 5 minutes to finish the show out. You should read us something freaky, unless Willow wants to add anything to twins.
Hey, I was just going to point out that there's several celebrity twins, but
Oh yeah, talk about the celebrity twins while Keisha picks out a paragraph.
Okay, so I don't. Well, aside from like the obvious, there's Ashton Kutcher, there's Shawn Ashmore. Laverne Cox is actually a twin. So is same with Scarlett Johansson, Aaron Carter, Remy Melnick is actually Vin
Remy
Diesel.
Malek.
I didn't know Vin Diesel had a twin brother.
Now you've got all the twins, but have you looked at the parents and like kids, like Tom Hanks, Colin Hanks, spitting images of each other?
Oh my god! Like if cloning existed in nature, that'd be it.
Well, Tom Hanks actually didn't do a lot of scenes. His stuntman in Forrest Gump was his brother.
Oh, I did not know that.
And you want to talk about more recent, media coverage? Look at, oh my God, I just completely blanked. Scarlet Witch. Why am I blanking?
Yeah, her sisters. Yeah, I know. The Olsen twins.
Olsen twins. But look at this way. Hold on. There's a picture. Oops, that's not what I wanted to click on. There's a great movie coming out called Firestarter, and I keep getting advertisements for it. It's for Zac Efron. But hold on, let me pull this up. Keisha, are you finding anything over there?
So I found my dream journal.
Oh God, that's a whole
hey,
episode.
that's a perfect way to end the show. A poem from
and I'm
the dream
gonna pull
journal.
up a picture of Elizabeth Olsen with her sisters.
The Olsen triplets. There's only
no, they're not triplets. They're not triplets.
No, it's just they have a younger sister that looks rather similar.
You want to talk about like they look like
I know they all look alike. Like yeah, that is creepy.
Features. It's crazy. But yes.
But they also have a brother, which is and he looks nothing like them, which is very odd.
Here's here's all the girls in the family.
Yeah.
They're all gorgeous though.
All right, Keisha, you've got 2 minutes to read us something creepy from your journal, and then we'll see you guys.
Okay, so I don't know if this is creepy. This is just the last one I entered. So I had a dream that I was picking different types of vegetables and mushrooms from the ground. I found some poisonous mushrooms as well. I picked a few because I thought they looked pretty cool. I offered them to one of the guys I was walking with. I jokingly asked if he needed to take anyone out with a mushroom because it was poisonous. For some reason, we ended up in a warehouse. I was apparently a guy at the time, and I was walking with a few of the other guys, and they opened up the garage door. I questioned them as to why it was an automatic door now, because it used to be just a pull-up door. We were sitting in there in a pew church type setting. A woman came up and touched my hand. I guess we didn't notice that a guy came in behind us. The woman's boyfriend, or whoever he was, he accused his girlfriend of cheating on him with one of us, then shot her. Since he was in front of me, I pretended that I was shot, or she was in front of me, I pretended I was shot too. I fell to the ground underneath the pew and played dead. I know, I hear...
Well, and how freaky is this that this pops up on my Facebook memories? I forgot to tell you this. Back to Crazy Dreams. This was 7 years ago. I was apparently carrying twins inside of my shoulder blades, and I had them removed because I didn't want kids. Then the doctor did this surgery without prepping me, and there was a room full of people, and they put me and everyone else under and stole the brains and hearts, and I was worried about the star, which was a small half circle. Then they set the place on fire, and it either run towards buildings or towards burning trees. My right foot got burned through my sneakers. Someone called 911 on an old flip phone. And we all ran to the road where the ambulance passed us and the school bus appeared. And the cast of my old cast Phantasmagoria was also injured from the fire. And we were out onto a boat where they were playing Christmas music and kids were ice skating on the wood. So I think maybe our next episode should be dreams. What do you guys think?
Oh, I love that idea.
Is that really
Yes.
cryptidy though? Because I'm cool with it, but
You know what?
Dream walking, different virtual or different alternate realities, astral projection.
Have you guys
people
ever
that
had
haunt
your
your
dreams come
dreams?
true?
Yes,
Yes.
I have premonitory dreams all the time. But it is 10
I
o'clock
really hope I
Eastern.
don't end up a guy in church pretending to get shot so he lives.
Yeah, no. Well, maybe it was a past life, but to be determined. So, guys, join us not next Sunday, but the following Sunday, where we will be happy to talk about all sorts of weird dreams. I'll start trying to journal. We'll make Willow do it. Keisha does it all the time, but we are so happy to have you guys join us right here and back the cereal box for Cryptid Crunch. We will see you guys soon. We don't want to run over. You can also go to buymeacoffee.com/cerealboxpod and donate money. So you're like buying us caffeine or like therapy.
I need all the caffeine. I was yawning a lot tonight.
And you can also find a lot of merchandise there. We'll be updating our merch coming up soon. I think you could still buy the Keisha Be Crazy shirts, but we're going to be
You
doing all
should be
sorts of
able
fun stuff.
to.
You should be able to. But yeah, support us, support the network, and we will see you guys back here in just about 2 weeks. Thank you guys so much for joining us, and hopefully you don't run into your evil twin anytime soon.
Have a good night,
Bye, everybody. Have a great week.
Bye.